This is a review of my kind of saving system I created in Godot. I think it's 4.5. I forgot where to check. Yeah, 4.5. I originally started this project in 4.3 and I downloaded the new version, and it's apparently it's kind of scary to update the thing to a new version of Godot or whatever, because it messes with some things, but it was fine for me, so that was pretty nice. So basically, I have this is kind of like a settings kind of save system where it's someone changes a setting and it just remembers it, no matter if they just immediately close the game after it for some reason, you change your mouse sensitivity and then you close the game, it'll just remember it and put the setting to whatever thing that it was saved at when you load it back up. And there was a couple problems that I ran into when trying to create this. One was that I didn't really know what I was doing, which is kind of a big deal, but I was just kind of doing it as I went, and I kind of figured out it's you have to wait until scenes, all scenes, your global scenes and your current scene are ready before you can really start doing stuff that has to access the scene tree or whatever thing that is, the current tree of the game that's going on when you're playing it. So basically I just have this function that awaits, or yeah, it has the await function, and then it calls the load settings data. This is when the game is starting up. It waits until all the global functions are ready. So I have just this array list of all the global functions. I mean, not functions, dang it! The global scenes. And it basically just awaits until every single one is ready using a for loop to iterate through the array. And then it also checks if the player scene is ready, because there's going to be a player scene, or it's a global variable pointing towards a player in whatever the current scene is, because there's going to be a player in every single scene that I have in this game, generally. So I also wait for that. And this one I didn't really know how to do in await for this scene, so I just did this is probably really terrible coding, or bad for the, I don't know, process of the game or something, but it might be okay. I just waited until the global.player variable, which points toward the player scene in the current scene, was established and not null, and I just checked every what is that, tenth of a second, and then once everything in that was ready, then it would call the load settings data function, which, if I can find right here, basically, I don't really know if this is going to be a problem because I'm not really amazing with this, but if you want to have a save file in a subfolder in your project, you kind of have to do a little bit of stuff in terms of directory access. You have to make this dir access object thing that opens a file, the path of the file. So if I go up here, save folder path, this just points to the folder that I want to have all my save files in. So it does that. And it checks if it can get it, and if it can't, then it just makes the thing. I think that's what this is doing. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but it kind of works, so I think it's okay. And then basically it creates a settings variable. I think this is like an array that contains all, it's like a pair value or key value kind of pair thing array, which again is not really the best way to code it, I'm pretty sure, but it's like a setting ID. So like if I want to have like a vsync setting, then I just set like, I make a string just called vsync as the ID, and then either on or off or like true or false as like the second variable after that in the array, and I just repeat through that. And basically that's how the settings information is stored and called back into the function when you're loading the save data, which if anyone knows a better way to do that, that would be, I would like to know, because this is not really the best. I feel like a lot of the things that I make in Godot are not really the best. So, but we keep going. We create the settings node array in my pause function, which is kind of a big thing. I should probably break this up. This is almost 400 lines. That's not as bad as my player thing though. My player thing is like 800 lines, but let me find it. Create settings node array. So basically the pause thing has all the settings buttons. So like the nodes that contain like, a button where you can turn something on or off. And so it kind of like creates a list of all of those nodes inside of an array, thing kind of like that. And then let me go here. How much time have I been recording? 6 minutes? Okay, we're okay. And then we, this is just kind of like a debugging thing. Removed setting count. It's like, it counts how much settings that you're actually changing when you load into the game based off of how much, it should be changing all of the settings, but like when I add in a new setting or something and I haven't changed it, it's kind of not really updated in the setting array. So it kind of just counts everything, and then as all the settings get updated, they remove a value from this counter, and then once the counter hits 0, then it says, all the functions, not all the functions, all the settings are updated properly. That's just kind of a way to keep track of it. And then I have a for loop right here that goes through all the settings, and basically this just updates everything. It does a visual update and then a setting press function that updates the actual setting. I can go to my code here. Activated setting. I might make a part 2 of this video, but yes, it's like, oh yeah, I have a settings code thing where it sets settings. Oh wait, it's down here. I really have to, setting press right here, and then it just calls the set setting function in my settings code that handles all the different settings and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.